My name is Diana Hill, and I am the Vice President, and I will be conducting this meeting this evening, and so we're really glad to have you here. We took no action in closed session, and so now we're going to move on to open session. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I do believe that we are asking Mason to do that, to lead us in the pledge.
Can I have all members of the audience please rise and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your right hand over your heart, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
It's like an echo. That's great. Yeah.
That was amazing. Thank you so much. And now we will move on to a patriotic song, and that will be brought to us by the Lee Choir. L-A-E. Yay! Thank you very much. What an extraordinary job, and what an extraordinary job your choir director is, isn't she? So this is the time we now have the opportunity to introduce any special guests, and in our opinion, you're all special guests. So we're very happy to have you all here this evening and here for the meeting. Next, we will move on to the board president's report. And since, unfortunately, Dr. Barkey was unable to join us this evening, we will forego his report and we will move on to our student board report.
Good evening, esteemed board members, Dr. Kropp, cabinet, and community. This is my 6th board report of the year.
I can't believe
No, it's not on. There we go. Arts at Los Alamitos High School. So our dance program debuted their first show of the year called Relativity last Wednesday, and 225 dancers performed and sold out the Friday and Saturday show. And on behalf of all the dancers in the program, thank you to Ms. Jones, who directed it. Activities at Los Alamitos High School. The ever-giving students at Los Alamitos demonstrated their charity by giving and donating blood at our blood drive that we had, and 87 students donated. Multiply that by 3, which is 261. Quick math. And that is how many lives we saved.
Oh.
Athletics at Los Alamitos High School. Our football team took us to the Sunset League Championships and became CIF quarterfinalist. Our volleyball team also won the CIF SS Championships and became CIF semi-state champions, yes. So congratulations on their outstanding seasons. Academics at Los Alamitos High School. As you can see, students are hard at work learning and teachers hard at work teaching and connecting with their students. In our first photo right there, you can see Mr. Erickson's fire science class learning how to tie knots and move equipment from the first story to the second story. And in the second photo, you can see Mr. Sells and Mr. Eisenberg competing in our ping pong tournament held at lunch with students. Very exciting. Thank you, and go Griffins.
Thank you. Excellent job. There's good, exciting things happening there, huh? And are we excited about our week off next week? Oh, it seems to me that it is appropriate. Oh, our applications due the end of November?
November 30th.
Ah, that was good timing, isn't it? Yeah. So we'll move on to our superintendent's report. And Dr. Kropp, we look forward to your report.
Thank you, Madam Vice President, esteemed members of the board and community and staff here tonight. So I'm going to start just by sharing a little bit. These are our National Merit Scholars, the students that are commended. So I'm going to leave that up so that while I'm talking a little bit, people can look at the names. But that's quite an accomplishment. So to be a National Merit Scholar, it's the top 3% of high school students on the PSAT test. Out of that top 3%, 2/3 become commended students, and 1/3 become semifinalists. And our 3 semifinalists are Marley Hughes, John Kim, and Rachel Kanowski. Now, we won't know until February who the finalists are, but that's really quite an accomplishment to have so many National Merit Scholars on both sides. So can we give a round of applause to them? And we typically bring the finalists to the board, and we will be doing so once we have a little bit more information. And then the next slide, I just put up a few. So one of the things I love about our district is that we do want to really honor the people that either sacrifice through their service in the military, or they're a veteran, or law enforcement, or one of those. And so all of our sites, in one way or another, they were all a little bit different. celebrated Veterans Day. And so I just grabbed some pictures there, and I really particularly love where you can see so many of our students brought their families, their relatives that were in the military. And if you look closely, that's what was priceless to me. Obviously, honoring them is what's priceless, but when you see how it makes a parent feel that their kid is there, that they see it, it was really heartbreaking. So heartwarming, and I really loved it. So just a big thank you to all of our sites for whatever they did. It was a nice day for our veterans. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kropp. And now we will move on to our school report. And the school that we will be highlighting this board meeting, I should say, is our Lee Elementary School. And Mrs. Amy Laughlin, the principal, will be coming up and giving us our report.
We're very excited about tonight, all of us. So thank you. Good evening, esteemed members of the board, Dr. Kropp, cabinet, community, staff, students. Thank you so much. I am so honored to be here tonight to share the accomplishments of Lee Elementary School. And tonight I share this podium with two student co-presenters.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Kropp, and community members. I'm Amelia Jen.
And I'm Caleb Sandvig. Amelia and I are 5th graders at Lee Elementary School.
We'll figure this out, you guys. We'll figure this out. It is our pleasure to discuss how we are meeting board priority goal number 1, passionately pursuing excellence for all kids. Look at those numbers. Wow. I am so proud of our school that in the last 4 years, these are our state test scores. The blue column indicates 2015 and the red indicates 2018, this past year. Our 3rd graders have gained 10 points over the last 3 or 4 years. Our 4th grade have gained 17 points, and our 5th grade, 22 points in the last few years. 96%. We are the number 3 highest ranked school in English language arts in all of Orange County, Lee Elementary. Our math scores are equally tremendous. We've seen huge growth. Again, look at those blue columns from 2015 to the red in 2018. You can just see the upward trajectory year after year after year. Our 3rd graders have gained a 12-point gain in the last few years. Our 4th graders, another 17-point gain. And those 5th graders, 30 points since 2018. 30. We are the number 5 school in Orange County, the 5th highest ranked school in math, I'd like to point out, by 1 point. Just one. I'm extraordinarily proud of our kids, our staff, our parents, who all partner together to help us get to those numbers. But I do believe that great teaching starts with fantastic teachers. And we do have a growth mindset at Lee. We believe it, we believe in it, we practice it, we preach it with our kids, and they believe in it too. We think that we can be better as practicing teachers. We learn, we grow, we improve our practices. We have monthly professional development where we're working with our district TOSAs to sharpen up our techniques in CGI and RFCC. We have staff meetings strategically placed throughout the year just dedicated to data analysis. And our goal is really to create targeted instruction that, based on data, to meet individual needs to ensure academic excellence for all students. We are a school of a growth mindset. We do think that struggling makes us better, stronger thinkers.
This year at Lee, we know that we are the magic, and we believe in the power of yet. Caleb, what does the power of yet and making magic mean?
Well, we make magic happen by having grit. We persevere and never give up. The power of yet means having a growth mindset. We are learning to be optimistic and believe in ourselves.
We've been taught to make magic happen by remembering to
Make eye contact.
Accept failure and learn from it.
Get up and get involved.
Know I in team.
Celebrate and empower others.
We even have a school dance to remind us of our magic. Leos, are you the magic? We are the magic!
I love it so much. We do that every week together as a whole school at our flag ceremonies. Just to remind us, we are magical. We can bring it every day, right, guys? Yes. Love it. We do implement our signature practices in every classroom every day. Our kids are engaged in collaborative real-life learning. We use our new whiteboard tables for students to draw mathematical models, to explain their thinking and reasoning. Our first graders there are sharing reading strategies. We do have a rigorous environment where teaching and learning happens in every room all day long at Lee.
Our academics are rigorous and challenging. We have to work hard every day. This year, we love learning through our novel studies. Right now, my class is reading The True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle. The book empowers us to have rich dialogue with our classmates, and through deep conversations backed up by text evidence, we can persuade others to change their thinking.
Because Lee is so challenging, learning doesn't always come easily for everyone. But the amazing staff at Lee finds a way for us to understand based on our learning styles.
We do offer various forms of intervention for kids who need that second dose of instruction. We have push-in teachers who push directly into the classroom to support reading and math. We have a systematic phonics program in our reading lab for kids who need that. We have before and after school clinics to support math and reading. Our staff we work intensely to meet the needs of all students.
You know what that sounds like, Miss Laughlin?
What does that sound like?
Sounds like magic is happening.
You got it.
Speaking of magic, in 4th grade, we went to the Media Center every week for coding. We designed our own games that improved our eye-hand coordination, and we used the block-based coding on the iPad to move an Ozobot from location to location on a hundreds board.
We do utilize our Media Center as an actual instructional tool. Our Makerspace is directly in the Media Center, which truly allows integration of science and technology. We have an innovative hands-on approach to NGSS and building those STEM skills, so we are promoting engineering and design in that Makerspace. We've also implemented Project Lead the Way in all grades in our Media Center. Our kids are learning engineering, robotics, biomedical simulations, computer science, and coding.
I've learned so much from Miss Chambers implementing Project Lead the Way. Recently, our groups were challenged to problem solve to break various codes around the Media Center.
I loved the challenges in the Media Center. This year, we were given materials like toothpicks, modeling clay, gummies, and spaghetti, and we had to figure out how to design the strongest structure to hold a pack of markers.
I love that challenge for you guys. We have implemented a Bring Your Own Device program in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades. Students collaborate, they share ideas, they communicate through Google Classroom, and it's allowed the learning to extend from classroom into home. It's also allowed foundational learning for our 2nd graders who now have the opportunity to work on those Chromebooks that were once only in our upper grade classes. Now they have the ability to build those skills as well.
The Bring Your Own Device program has taught me so much. With Typing Club, I've become more efficient with my keyboarding skills. I am completing assignments, doing homework, and publishing in Google Classroom. I feel ready to conquer middle school.
Yes, that's the goal. I mean, this is something that just makes me so happy at our school. We really utilize each other, our students, as teachers.
Another way we make magic is working with cross-grade level buddies. We taught the little Leos how to log into Gigi. We also have been teaching 1st and 2nd graders how to add content and images into Google Slides, and now they're creating their own presentations.
We know the little kids look up to us. We strive to be great role models and teach them the characteristics of being a Leo.
We couldn't have 2 finer students right here to be examples for our little guys, so thank you. Board priority number 2 we do have a safe and healthy drug-free environment at Lee. We have lots of programs that promote a safe environment. Something that I'm very proud of, I know as a staff and our parents are very proud of this, we brought Start With Hello to Lee last year, and it's a program that was created by the parents of Sandy Hook victims. And the program is designed to teach our kids what social isolation looks like, what it appears to be, and our job is then to recognize it and do something about it. Reach out, connect, to build that inclusivity. And it's just as simple as starting with hello. We had different activities the whole week that really just help build the inclusivity and connectivity between kids.
This program means a lot to me. I used to eat by myself at lunch, but during No One Eats Alone Day, a classmate invited me to eat with him. Now we are best friends.
Reaching out to others really has a lasting impact.
Thank you. We've also incorporated activities during Peace Week. We had Brent Hoppin, who's a Paralympian, an author, an inspiration to us. He came and talked to every single classroom and describe an example of what peace looks like. We also participated in World Kindness Day with what we called Yellow Day. There's a picture of our entire school out there wearing yellow. The idea of it reminds us that our words and our actions have the power to change someone's gray day yellow. So it was a great day for us. We have lots of different student organizations. We are about the academics, but we're about all 4 A's. We're about the activities and the arts as well. We have lots of ways kids stay connected. We have peacemakers up there on the top left. They're trained conflict managers. They're out there in the morning greeting kids, and they're on the playground helping with conflicts on the primary playground. We have our student council up on the top right. Those are 3rd grade new student council members that build leadership and confidence. Our math team there meets weekly to solve complex problems, and they compete countywide. This year in the middle, we added a Master Gardeners program, which is our 4th and 5th graders giving up their time to come assist our primary kids in the garden. And then our Lee Choir. I mean, come on. They meet every week. They're extraordinarily talented, as you've had the pleasure of hearing tonight. We've added in the last few years a new club called the Maker Club, which is after school in our media center. These are just a couple of examples from this year. The top left is the kids created clothespin race cars. They use a 3D pen to design the wheels, and then we actually race them. And some cars maneuvered better than others, and it really depends on the design, we found out. On the top right is a student who designed, the challenge was to design, using a 3D pen, a wand to build the biggest and best bubble. So his was pretty cool. He did it. Yeah. And then in the middle here, we have students just collaborating on designing and engineering the tallest standalone building just with noodles and marshmallows. It's a great way to extend that learning from the day after school. We, again, like I said, we're not just about the academics, the arts, the activities, and the athletics. Training your body is as important as training your mind. So our school uses a lap tracker system to motivate kids, tracking their progress, running the mile. That's a student there in the middle, holding her card that gets tracked. We do have a high-quality PE program that really helps our kids grow confidence and resilience. And up in the top left is our 3rd graders, our 3rd grade athletes of the week, wearing their Athlete of the Week t-shirt, who they've been recognized for their effort and confidence and growth. Okay. Board priority number 3. In addition to our strong instructional practices, communication and community is a real strength for us at Lee. We have lots of different ways we keep connected. Our PTA is really instrumental in bringing our families together, whether it's Camp Lee, which is our annual overnighter, our ice cream social, our carnival, and much, much more. But thanks to our PTA, we have a very unique art program. This center picture here is Carrie Harbor, our credentialed art teacher. She's showing off some works of art with a couple of Leos. One of them I see here tonight in our choir. Did you see yourself up there? Looking good. We hosted our Kinder Play Date. We host our Kinder Play Date a few days before school starts. This allows our littlest Leos to kind of shake off the first day jitters, meet new friends. But what I really love is it's a family event. So it's for parents to come, new Lee families to meet each other, get to know one another, because we're in this 6-year journey together. So it's a really fun day for us. One of my most favorite days, the magical posting party before school starts. This is the day before school starts. Literally every single one of our teachers stays at 4 o'clock. We meet and greet all of our families. We post our class lists. It's a great way for us to hug our new kids coming in and meet the families. So this is a really fun day for us.
Every year, I've looked forward to the Popsicle Meet the Teacher party the day before school starts. It is so exciting to find out who my teacher will be and meet them while enjoying a popsicle. I will never forget finding out that Miss Salter was my 5th grade teacher.
Miss Salter's here tonight. Way to go. Okay, each month we celebrate Leo's showing. This is one of my favorite things as a principal I get to do is recognize kids for their hard work. So each month I recognize, as a staff, we recognize students showing great character. That's our little award ceremony up there with the students holding their certificates. What's special about it is it's just grade level specific, and then teachers spend a minute or two talking personally about every single student getting an award. So it feels good for the student, it feels good for the parents, but it feels great for us too to recognize kids. We recognize reading incentive winners with a special breakfast with me. We have attendance bracelets up in the top left for students with perfect attendance. Each month we get different colors. It's always really exciting to find out which color it's going to be this month. Not giving it away yet. You'll have to come to the next assembly. And then this middle picture, we have a new award. It's called A for a Day. And I thank Ronnie Ellis for this idea. We got this from McGaw. Each day over the intercom, I announce a new student's name, who's our A for the day. Students are nominated by any staff member in the areas of academics, activities, arts, athletics, attitude, attendance. And included in this announcement is a description of how the student specifically demonstrated this achievement at school.
A for a Day has brought a lot of joy to our school. It really is magical when a classmate is selected. Everyone cheers and congratulates the A for a Day. When my friend heard his name called over the intercom, he had a huge smile on his face, and so did everyone else.
Very true. These are just a couple pictures of just a taste of how we connect with our community around us. I was excited to see one of the semifinalists for the Merit Award was Marley Hughes, who is right now the president of the Growing Up STEM. It's a club at the high school, and we partner with them to bring Science Night to our school, which, by the way, is at the end of the month. See you guys November 28th. Little plug. We also have our local Boy Scouts lead us in a special September 11th flag ceremony. You may see spots around the neighborhood and people's yards. Families can spot each other with leopard spots for recognition, to recognize them, or just simply for being awesome. We started a community recycled food donation program. Our kids any unused food from our cafeteria is being donated to local shelters and families in need. We participated in Walk to School Day, which was so fun. Hundreds of Lee families, kids, walking from Rossmore Park to Lee. That was great. And then last year, I added this little picture. Last spring, we had a parent book club where parents read the book, The Me, Me, Me Epidemic, because basically it's hard being a parent. We're doing the best we can. So it was really great to have a community of people working together and just communicating, talking, sharing ideas on how we could be the best parents for our kids. Okay, board priority number 4. We are maximizing our resources. Our families are really great about supporting fundraisers. These are just a couple from over the last year. We have our color run in the spring. We have our fall fundraiser, the Step It Up program. We have a Read-a-Thon right there where our families come, read on the green. And then we have various family nights. This is from McTeacher Night, which I love so much. PTA is great at supporting our field trips and books and school supplies, our art program, and Project Leap, our other parent organization, supports our media center, technology, and Project Lead the Way. We have other resources that we're using to fund all kinds of things. Thank you to LAIF, who this year has given us $10,000 towards our media center programs, which is incredible. We do use LCFF funding, which is state funding for intervention, and we have lots of grant opportunities like Donors Choose or our Run Steel Beach to help us get the things we need. And our last board priority, we do maintain high-quality facilities. I just think they are gorgeous at Lee. We're happy. This year we have some new paw prints up on our handball walls, which would look really good. We have various plants in different spots all over campus. And then our new gorgeous playground, our primary playground, which it was so fun when we were open that kids were just chomping at the bit to get on that thing, right? It looks so good. We love this. And then lastly, over the last year, I'm thrilled to say that we added our new security fencing, which has added that extra layer of security, and it just really looks fantastic. So in closing, I just love these faces so much. Right? It just epitomizes what it means to really learn at Lee. They're so happy. The teachers genuinely love teaching our kids, and these kids genuinely love learning at Lee. And I could not be more proud to be part of this community.
We welcome all the challenges that lie ahead,
Because our experiences at Lee have prepared us to problem solve
collaborate,
and think critically. We know magic and greatness starts with our foundation at Lee.
We look forward to continuing our journey as future Griffins.
Thank you.
Excellent job. Thank you very much. Does the board have any questions or comments right in this period?
Yeah.
Yes, Mrs.
I noticed that you did extra things as far as inclusivity for all the kids this year, and you did in the beginning of the year, which totally makes sense. And can you tell any difference, and I'm going to say in the tenor of the school since you've done that, or?
I do, only because if there's some trouble between students, right, I can bring them in and I can use the language. Do you think the student feels included or not? Or isolated? We've taught our kids those actual words. What does isolation mean? What does inclusivity mean? So I think in that sense, it has changed. Or I can refer to our Start With Hello mural, something like that, and they go, oh, right, yes.
Yeah.
So I do think it has made a difference.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Excellent. Thank you very much, and thank you for a great report. And obviously, there are spectacular things happening at Lee.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Now, Mrs. Laughlin, I understand that you have something further to do.
I do. I am so excited about this. We are here to honor one special Lee parent, Mrs. Jenny Platt. If you could come on up here. Mrs. Platt is our 2018 Hero of the Heart. Do you all know? You recognize her? Yes. I have just a few words I'd like to say about you. The community of Lee Elementary School is affectionately known as the family. The students, staff, and parents genuinely care for one another and dedicate themselves to helping the children at Lee continue succeeding. Visitors feel the warm, positive energy as soon as you step on campus. Friendly hellos with wide student smiles and cheery good mornings further promote our family campus atmosphere. Our hero of the heart, Mrs. Jenny Platt, is the finest example of a family community member. Jenny has deep roots in Los Al. She and her husband, Darren, have lived in Los Al during the entirety of their 24-year marriage. Their oldest son, Dylan, is a Los Al grad. Their daughter, Emma, is a sixth grader at Oak. And their youngest children, Landon and Charlotte, attend Lee. Jenny's love for Lee has been passed on to her children, who enthusiastically participate in all those spirit days, family events, and all-site competitions. They are top-notch Leos over there. Jenny has been part of the Lee family for 8 years. And in that time, okay, this is a long list. Are you ready? And in this 8 years, she has been PTA Executive Secretary, PTA Auditor, Gently Used Book Sale Coordinator, Kinder Playdate Coordinator, Red Ribbon Week Coordinator, Teacher Appreciation Chair. Currently, she is the Project Leap President, PTA Membership Chair, PTA Volunteer Coordinator, PTA Room Parent Lead, Room Parent in 2 classrooms, and behind the scenes in literally every single Lee event. Jenny's endless energy and dedication to Lee is an inspiration. She puts her heart and soul into every event, simply just to make it memorable for you, our families. Teachers say, and I quote, Jenny is selfless, caring, empathetic, creative, and kind. She is truly a special gift to us and embodies what it means to be part of our family. Other Lee parents have shared, people are drawn to Jenny Platt. She's humble and genuinely loves our school and all the kids. She is a leader in our community, and we could all learn to follow in her footsteps. The community of Lee is fortunate to have you bring us so much joy. Mrs. Jenny Platt is a woman of generosity and integrity. She models the character traits we work so hard to teach our kids. She's a true gift to our school and community. So thank you, Mrs. Platt, for your commitment to ensuring all our Leos are engaged, connected, and happy. You are a true hero of the heart.
Wow, a little overwhelmed. I wrote down a couple of things that I wanted to say. I'm gonna try really hard not to cry. I am truly blessed and honored to receive such a very special award tonight. But honestly, when I look around this room, I'm just a teeny tiny part of what makes Lee special, because it is a magical place to be. The staff at Lee is unlike anywhere else. From the support staff that is always there helping me with anything that I need, helping anybody with anything they need, to the teachers that truly make the students their #1 priority. And I know this firsthand because my babies have gotten to all go to such a special place. From the moment I walk on the Lee campus every day, I feel happy. It is one of my very favorite places to be next to Disneyland. I love being at Lee. I love painting hands in kindergarten. I love helping with projects as they get older. I love that I get to watch kids learn how to read in kindergarten and sit at that 5th grade promotion and know that I watched them grow all that time. And I maybe got to help a teeny tiny bit with just a little bit of something. I wouldn't trade those moments for anything. I get to be a part of an amazing team of volunteers, getting to be a part of PTA and Project LEAP. I am surrounded by men and women who give their time and their energy and their finances and their love sacrificially and ask for nothing back. I can ask them to do anything, and they're going to be right there beside me to help me make it happen. I am grateful for a principal that only wants the best for Lee. And she has so much passion. She is the biggest cheerleader, and she's the biggest supporter of our staff and our family. She can talk you into doing just about anything. Sure. And she is willing to do just about anything to make Lee a magical place. I am fortunate that I have a husband and kids who are willing to join me in all this craziness. I have a husband that's willing to go spot people's houses at midnight when the sprinklers turn on. I have kids that help me count and cut and get ready for endless different events at the school, and they don't complain. They don't care that I'm not with them playing carnival games and getting to take pictures because I might be sitting in a volunteer booth all day. They don't care. They are my biggest supporters, and I truly am grateful. And I wish I could go around and say how much I love each and every one of the staff and families at Lee, because you guys will never know what you mean to me. I love you, and thank you for letting me be part of this family.
Congratulations, Jenny. We're all very happy for you and know the contributions that you have made. And thank you. It's really important to have people like you in our schools and in our community. It's what makes it really special. So thank you very much. Amy, and we will move on. We have one more presentation before we're going to move to recess, and I just ask those of you who can wait, because we'd love to take some photos of the choir and people who were honored this evening as well. Then I promise there will be cookies when all is said and done. So we're going to have one more presentation, and that will be that'll be Dr. Kropp for a board recognition. Thank you.
You're welcome. And so first, where'd Amy go? That was extraordinary. You know, we love working with you. You're extraordinary, your whole school, so good job. So some people don't know, and sorry you guys, because now you do have to wait a few minutes for this, but our end of the year report is actually in November, and we start a new cycle in December. It's a little bit weird. And so Dr. Barkey could not be with us this evening, which is unfortunate, but I will make sure I share this with him as well. So it has been, Mrs. Hill, it has been my honor and my privilege to work with you and for you. You are outstanding board members who continually put the needs of students first and at the same time support our staff, families, and community. Don't start crying. You are courageous and help create and support goals that actually say 100% of our students will be proficient and connected. You won't find that anywhere. Under your leadership, we have made great strides toward providing unlimited possibilities for our students in academics, athletics, activities, and the arts. You can't find another district with equally strong programs in all 4 areas. We have also made great strides in safety, one of the best in the county, and in student support issues such as substance abuse prevention and response, violence prevention and response, bullying, and human relations. You initiated the idea of implementing task force groups years ago to take a comprehensive approach to issues facing society in a way that shows that here in Los Al, we can do better than anywhere else. We are #1 in academics in Orange County and in the top 10 in the state. We have 4 out of 6 elementary schools, go Leos, that's out of all hundreds of schools in the top 10 in both English and math, with the other 2 very close. Over 50% of our seniors have taken at least 1 AP class, over 70% complete A through G college entrance requirements, and over 90% of our students go on to post-secondary education. And at the same time, we have more career technical education courses than ever before, over 17. We also initiated a new dual enrollment program with Cypress Community College, which serves a unique role supporting our students going on to certificate programs, as well as those wishing to transfer to a 4-year university. All of our sites have strong intervention programs. Our summer school program is free and available to everyone, and we serve all students at one comprehensive high school. Athletics are over the top. CIF championships and Sunset League championships are unparalleled. We've gone beyond the basics to support traditional sports and untraditional, as well as those we do not offer at this site, such as roller hockey, ice hockey, and rowing. And why? Because we want these kids connected. This year alone, we already have championships in golf, cross country, football, and volleyball, with girls volleyball taking CIF championship. The arts are equally unparalleled. All of our 9 sites have robust programs in the arts, leading to award-winning, highly popular high school programs in choir, instrumental music, dance, theater, photography, dance and song teams, and visual art. All of the programs have earned awards and numerous accolades at the regional, state, and national levels. Activities. The leadership opportunities at all of our sites, you heard some of them tonight, character development programs, human relations programs, service clubs, and clubs for just about everything are available at our sites. I love Start With Hello. That was a perfect example. There is literally something for everyone. The Interact Club alone, one high school club, will raise thousands of dollars this year to give to charity. Our Substance Abuse Prevention and Response Task Force has led to an amazing program that includes education for students and families, a drug canine program, and voluntary drug testing. Our Bullying Prevention and Response Task Force includes education as well. And in safety, we are leading the pack. We have Mylar shatterproof film on our windows, fencing, visitor protocols, lock blocks, numbers painted on roofs, AEDs at all sites, and most recently installed the blue light emergency tower. Nothing is more important than safety. Thank you for taking a leadership role in making this happen. Even without a task force, our programs for human relations are unprecedented, and we're still going to have a task force. We have Griffins with a mission, Griffins reaching out, and this year we implemented a new middle school cares program with a 6th grade summit. We have also initiated an education component to discipline, and we'll be implementing staff development on human relations issues and social media soon. You also supported a task force for human relations, which, as you know, we are currently putting together and hiring a consultant, just like we did for our safety task force. I'm not quite done yet. You implemented Measure K, and not just you, this really is to our whole board. You implemented Measure K on time and on budget, and we completed more projects than promised. We completely modernized 10 sites, plus spent approximately $30 million at the high school. Then you prioritized $1 million a year for technology, $2 million a year for deferred maintenance, and funds set aside for long-term facility needs. We have a 10-year plan, which means every 10 years a site gets completely updated: infrastructure, paint, asphalt, roofing, etc. McGaw had its 10-year update last summer, and we are now working at McAuliffe. This ensures that the money our residents spend to modernize our sites is well-spent money, and we take responsibility to ensure the sites are maintained. Thank you. Measure G. Diana, you put your name on that. You endorsed it with your name, and not everyone would. Even with the election on the ballot, you courageously endorsed Measure G. You were willing to support it, knowing that it would cause some controversy, which we all know it did, and possibly some votes. I can't thank you enough for putting the needs of our students above your own. And it passed. Thank you. All of the board did that. So could we give a round of applause for our board? So I know I can't really share it yet. It's not official, but we're pretty sure Measure G is going to pass, and I can't thank you guys enough. Our high school, for all of our kids in the room today, will finally be modernized and everything that they deserve. Our high school will finally really be what it should be, an outstanding site to prepare our students for their futures. We're not about the buildings, but they matter. Plus, you supported a resolution to establish Fund 40 so that we never have to go to our residents again. We'll have enough money to maintain our sites. We have lowered class sizes, significantly reduced combination classes, added a part-time teacher at all elementary sites to give teachers more time for small group instruction, lowered enrollment at our schools, put more students on a bus. Thank you. How many of you take the bus? Don't tell me. I want everyone to take the bus. I'm afraid of only 5 hands. So more kids are on a bus than ever before. We've hired additional mental health therapists, counselors, psychologists, and special education staff. There is literally nothing you don't support if it has a chance of improving the lives of children. Our teachers are highly trained and have multiple opportunities for collaboration and input, such as PLC time, leadership groups, department chairs, a superintendent's forum, which I do love, by the way. Our 5-year plan for new teachers is simply state-of-the-art. Our staffs are well-trained, exceptional, highly skilled, and you have ensured that they are at the top in Orange County for salaries. Our turnover is extremely low, and by far, most people hired spend their careers here. You are collaborative. You are honorable and invested in our schools and community. You are a strong, courageous, and visionary leader, Mrs. Hill. Your involvement and visibility in the community and at our schools is remarkable. I have loved working with you for the last 8 years. Oops. Sorry. And can't thank you enough for your support and the support for our staff. I've appreciated your diverse opinions, your insights, and think they represent some of our community, which is equally politically diverse. You are on the cutting edge with supporting diversity, equity, and access, because by closing a continuation high school and making A through G classes available to all students, that's the proof of implementation of a belief in equity and access. You believe in opening up doors for all students. I absolutely have had the best career possible working for you. My life is better because of you. Thank you.
More importantly, the lives of over 9,000 students are better because of both you and Dr. Barkey, and that is priceless. There are no words to adequately express my gratitude other than to say, and I really mean this for all the board, but as our annual tradition, to our president, who couldn't be here, and to our vice president, Mrs. Hill, thank you. These are wonderful accomplishments, and I appreciate you. And I have a little something for you. So in case you're not sure, she didn't know I was going to do this, but we got you something anyway. Thank you. And that's for you. You're a great vice president. You've been great.
And I'd just like to say that it's been an honor to serve this community and serve this district and to serve those faces. That's what really matters. Thank you. As promised, it is time for cookies. And I knew that would get a big hurrah. Yeah. And then those of you that either presented or were honored this evening, if you'll make sure that you come up front and make sure you keep your families here. Also, the whole staff of Lee, Miss Tina will be taking photographs. Thank you very much.
Yeah, choir too.
Over the choir.
Okay, and I have a really great outside voice, so I'm going to take the pictures. Yes. Before we start, look, can't you see, like, who's doing Start With Hello? And it started at one school, now a bunch do it. Hobson started at You've Been Flocked, and now they do You've Been Spotted.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, carry on.
What a concept.
It's amazing how best practices just kind of catch on.
All right, I'm done.
So, thank you, Dr. Kropp. Thank you for your kind words. I know the board thanks you for reminding us of everything that has been accomplished in this last year. And I'm sure that the board is looking forward to going forward and seeing what there is to come. Seeing no community and staff participation, we will move on to information and presentations. And Mrs. Reed, we have a presentation of supplemental materials.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Tonight we're bringing forth 4 readers for German 2. And so we really feel these readers are culturally rich, anthology readers that address reading, writing, listening, speaking, as well as increased vocabulary for intermediate German students. As you know, we brought back German 1 at the high school this year, and so we have a group moving up to German 2. So we're bringing forth 4 readers tonight as supplemental materials that will be on display in Ed Services for the next 60 days.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Reed. Does anybody volunteer?
You're going to read those, right?
I was just thinking about that. I will read the ones that are in French. You can read the ones that are in Spanish, and I don't see why somebody else on the board doesn't stop up and become fluent in a foreign language.
That's
all
heritage there, yeah.
All the more power to you. Okay, and now we have a presentation of a textbook.
Thank you, Madam President. We'll be leaving Mr. Boyer tonight with the German 2 textbook. And so much like the supplemental materials, this will also be to support instruction in our German 2 periods next school year at Los Alamitos High School. And this textbook will be on display as well in Ed Services for the next 30 days.
Thank you very much. Just kind of an off-the-cuff question. Has there been a shift from textbooks to supplemental materials, and has that been a recent shift, or has that been something that's been all along in curriculum?
I think supplemental materials have always been around. I think what we're seeing now is that as we look to incorporate more listening, speaking, more student discourse into instruction, we're looking to supplement textbooks a little differently than we have in the past, as we're trying to engage student participation. As teachers really try to step away from being that sage on the stage and really being a facilitator of learning, so looking for curriculum support that helps us engage students that way.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. We will move on to our consent calendar. Right now, I have consent items are 10A through Y. Do I have any polls this evening?
Move approval.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 4-0 unanimously. Now I'm going to go to my quick little sticky. We are now moving on to what we call as action items. And so I would like to make a motion that we approve to hold the annual organization meeting this coming December 11th, 2018. This is the meeting that we hold, as Dr. Kropp said when she talked about the board. This is the meeting that we hold to, if we have new board members, to bring them on, to move our different positions and to move the board calendar year forward.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 4-0. The next thing that we will be looking at is the first reading of an updated board policy, and Dr. Pulver.
Thank you, Madam Vice President, esteemed members of the board. Tonight we're bringing forward a few board policies, as this is the time of the year where we get guidance from legal counsel, the county legal services, and CSBA. And so this one is a non-discrimination in employment. We're just updating a few areas. We already caught one of our board members, Mrs. Russell, caught one area to make a correction from believe to belief. And again, this is the opportunity for that because it is a first reading. And then there's a corresponding regulation that we're also updating at this time.
Thank you very much.
Do we not have to make a motion to approve for first reading?
I was just moving there.
Okay.
Okay. We'll go ahead and make a motion for the approval for first reading. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Dr. Pulver, now we're looking at understanding with the first reading of an updated and revised board policy on bullying?
That is correct. That is correct. Mrs. Vice President, Madam Vice President, esteemed members of the board, Board Policy 5131.2. The California Department of Education has been tasked to create a bullying video that should be available to all staff. And so we've been encouraged to reference that into our board policy. And so that's represented in this update.
And so they will always be providing that video, I assume, since we're putting it in there?
That is correct. And then we'll make it available to staff as well.
Okay, that's great. So do I have a motion?
Also move.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0.
We said that's from now, don't we?
The next thing we're going to move on to is the approval of independent contract agreement with Embassy Consulting Services to provide human relations training for students. Dr. Pulver again.
Thank you, Madam President, esteemed members of the board. So as we alluded to earlier during our workshop time, the CARES, we're projecting to start a CARES Saturday workshop for students who have either been guilty or exhibiting negative behaviors towards students based upon various race or ethnicity or orientation. And so this will be a 4-hour course that will be designed that we can hold throughout the year on an as-need basis using Embassy Consulting to provide that training and support for our students.
Wonderful. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to say that this is one of the issues that came out of our focus group, that we wanted to see a kind of a restorative justice, very similar to what we had when we had our substance abuse task force, and we came up with the idea of, in lieu of suspension, letting them go to the course about substance abuse. So I think this is a great big step forward in having a restorative justice type of a program. So I really look forward to that.
Mrs. Catulli?
Yes, I'm kind of echoing what Mrs. Russell said, is that I have, I'm not, when I say I'm sure it's all of the board members, I've always felt that when you need to suspend a student because of their behavior, you have to send a message to the entire student body, and that is a good and necessary thing to do. But the idea of suspending a student so they can go home and play video games for 2 to 5 days is just ridiculous. They don't learn from their experience. They get behind in school. And to me, I always felt like these are the kids that we really need to reach out and really help. And instead of helping them by suspending them, we could actually be hurting them. And so our alternative to suspension programs have been successful, and I just think it's one more thing that we do to help our students grow and become great human beings. So thank you, Dr. Pulver.
Thank you, Mrs. Catulli. Any other discussion? I'd like to call for a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimously. We will now move on to the adoption of the Los Alamitos Unified District Resolution number 2018-2019-16, implementation for the request of proposals for a pre-construction and leaseback services for the multi-story STEM building project at Los Alamitos High School. Dr. Nguyen.
Yes, so the architect is prepared to release some information so that we can go ahead and get a lease-spec contractor to start working with us to make sure the design will meet the specs for the school district. And so we're recommending going ahead and do the lease-spec process now.
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion?
Move approval.
Second?
Any discussion?
Yay.
Fabulous. Thank you very much.
It's a roll call.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Mrs. Russell.
Aye.
Mr. Boyer.
Definitely aye.
Mrs. Hill.
Aye.
Ms. Cattouli.
Aye.
Our next item is the adoption of a resolution 2018-2019-17 for the lease agreement between IBM Credit LLC and Los Alamitos Unified School District to provide a Palo Alto firewall solution for Digital Scepter. And Dr. Nguyen.
Yes, so this is a 3-year for lease to purchase agreement from IBM to do the firewall for the entire district. And I just want to say that John Spiralis was also able to get us a 10% discount on the current prices.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, it's a roll call.
Mrs. Russell.
Aye.
Mr. Boyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Hill.
Aye.
And Mrs. Cattouli.
Aye.
We are moving forward. This is an approval of a resolution for compensation for a missed meeting for myself. So
I will move approval for you.
I'll gladly second.
Any discussion?
I just would like the public to know that if you miss a board meeting, we need to have a formal action to say that you still can get your
Stipend.
I was trying to think of some way how to say pitiful, not say pitiful pittance that we receive. But yes, thank you. Stipend works.
And I will say that I was at an international conference for work. We do actually put forth a calendar every year, and we all try to make sure that we look at those dates and make sure that nothing's conflicting, but every once in a while somebody else puts something on our calendar. So this is also a roll call because I've had a first and a second, correct?
Yes.
But I think, Mrs. Hill, it's a good time to let the public sometimes know that, because many people seem to think that this is a full-time job, and it is, and that somehow it's a full-time paid job. And I think sometimes I have to correct people and let them know it's for a small stipend. And it's not. We all have other things most of us do to make our living.
And we do this from a passion.
Yes.
Fire in the belly.
Yeah. So I think
Mrs.
we're ready,
Russell.
Tina.
Aye. Mr. Boyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Hill.
Aye.
Ms. Cattouli.
Aye.
The approval of title and title change and revised job description of a playground supervisor to student supervisor assistant. And Dr. Pulver.
Thank you, Madam Vice President, esteemed members of the board. Tonight we are updating our job description. It used to be the noon duty or playground supervisor, trying to take the word supervisor out of it because they're really not a management level position, and actively trying to represent what it does, which is a student supervision assistant. And then we'll talk about that later because the law is changing. That is, we'll fold them into the classified employees. And so we thought this would be a good time to update the job description as presented.
Thank you very much. And is this one of the ones that would go to our
Personnel Commission? It will. It's on the Commission's agenda for approval tomorrow at our agenda meeting or Commission meeting tomorrow.
That's great. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Consideration and approval of a student supervision assistant classified salary schedule. Dr. Pulver.
Thank you, Madam Vice President, esteemed members of the board. This is a classified salary schedule in response to Assembly Bill 2160, which takes effect January 1. Our playground assistants, now that we call them student supervision assistants, will be part of the regular classified service. And so with that, we should have a salary schedule that represents that. We've rolled it out for a few years because the minimum wage will be increasing every year, January 1 through 2022. We've had a vacation schedule and longevity schedule, just like our other classified employees, since they'll now be treated in that manner starting January 1. So the effective date of this new schedule will be January 1, 2019.
That's awesome. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. Now we are on to warrants. And so the approval of our warrants is really the checkbook of the district. And I think one of the things that people may not be aware of is that it is part of our agenda and then it becomes part of our minutes. So every check that the district pays is able for the public to be able to see. And so I believe it was 53 pages. We all go through absolutely every warrant. If we have any questions related to those warrants, we send them in and then get the questions on there. So I move that we approve the warrants as presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Now kind of the opposite side of the fence are donations. And so we have, and we know that we have a very, very generous community and public. And so we look at these donations that are given to us every year. And every board meeting we go through and we accept those donations. And more than just accept them, we say thank you. Mm-hmm. And if we look at the year to date, it's over $1 million. Very appreciative.
That's
amazing. So I'll make a motion that we go ahead and accept those donations.
I'll second.
Everybody in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That one would be hard to find a nay for.
Yeah.
Our next item is our classified personnel report and our certificated personnel report. Dr. Pulver.
Thank you, Madam Vice President, esteemed members of the board. We recommend approval of the classified and certificated personnel report, but reflect the actions in HR since our last board meeting.
Wonderful. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. We will now move on to communication. So, Mrs. Russell.
Okay, able to go to the Orange County School Boards Association meeting, and Dr. Pulver was there, and Mrs. Catulli, and we went to a workshop ahead of time, and it was about the e-games, you know, that they do, and the competition. Of course, what was the whole meeting that night about? They had the same speaker that they gave the workshop presentation. Anyway, it's just, you know, I know our district has an esports, you know, it's computer games that they participate. And it was interesting to know about kind of how it worked. I don't think I could ever compete, but that's why they're the athletes in that sport. And it's nice to get to see people from other districts all over again and meet old friends and relations. Then I went to the Oak Choir presentation that was at McGaw Auditorium. Fabulous. They're just, you know, they're as good as the high school was a few years ago. I mean, it's just training them to be even better at the high school level. So it's marvelous to see how sophisticated these kids can be, and the costuming and everything. The parents have to be up all night sewing again.
Helping them change.
Then I participated in the drug take back they had at McAuliffe. I drove by, and actually this is the first one I was able to take liquids. They weren't accepting liquids in all the other ones I've been to before, so finally got rid of my liquids. And I went to the Los Al Chamber, and it's held at Madera's now, and we had wonderful breakfast, of course, and we had a speaker, which was mainly geared to business, and of course me with my editing skills spotted on his first slide that he misspelled a word. But I told him, so he could fix it. Then I went to the Teacher of the Year presentation at the Disneyland Hotel, which is always a very nice event and very well done. And then also to the flag deck at McGaw, which was which was absolutely awesome. There were members because, you know, we have a Steel Beach Naval Weapons Station that's part of our, but we also have housing on that base. And I actually found this out when we did that tour years ago, and remember some of you did. That housing isn't just limited to the people who work at Seal Beach Naval Weapons Station. It's for any military people in the local area that want to live there. And that's very nice housing that's over there. So there were people from all branches of the service that were there sitting and being recognized. Plus, they have a very large American Legion group in Seal Beach. And there were some quite elderly people that were there that had served in various branches of the military. The guy sat in front of me. He had on what appeared to be a Hawaiian shirt, but it was all Marine Corps stuff. It's really cute. And it was so windy that day. I'm sure those of you went to the flag day. And the kids had prepared these things on the butcher paper, you know, honoring, and they were just blowing. They could hardly hold them down. But then each child was given a certificate to put a name on of somebody who had served in the military that they could present to later on, either if they were there that day or it's just really cute. That's awesome. Held them up, and it was a very, very nice day. That's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Russell. Mr. Boyer.
For those that I drove by and missed it, but last night was our send-off for our band at the high school. And I drove by and saw it from a distance, and I was on the way to pick someone up at the airport. But I thought that was great, and I wish our band the best of luck. We don't think about it. Our marching band is competing for state championship again, and it's awesome to see that. I attended the LA Los Al High School dance relativity. My wife loves dance, and so we go to these, and I love it. I'm always overwhelmed with the number of young ladies in the dance program and men. I have a niece who's the captain of her dance team in her high school down in San Diego, and it's very limited. There's only maybe 25 or 30 young ladies in the dance program, and I'm just amazed at the number of kids that are involved at our high school just in dance, and not let alone choir and other things we do. But it was awesome, and Ricky Jones, a shout out to Ricky Jones, she does a great job with that program, and I'm so glad we've got it approved now for PE and all those things. So that I get tired watching them dance, and then I'm so glad we made the investment in the things up above when they're hanging from and doing rings, and I kind of get scared watching because it gets every time it's a little more. So that was great. Again, I attended the chamber breakfast, and I wanted to let you know, for those of you in the audience who hear this, the Los Al Chamber has its breakfast at 7:30 to about 9 o'clock, and they're going to have the next one December 7th. It's a special one because our show choir comes and sings. I don't know who the speaker is, but you can look it up at losalchamber.org or whatever online. And you can call and make a reservation to come. But it's an awesome breakfast. It's going to be held at the Courtyard of Marriott, just down the street here in Cypress. So put that on there. Want to also say thank you to Diana Hill and to Jeff Barkey, who served on this board, and we're still waiting as votes are counted. It's been a pleasure, and however this turns out, we hope and pray for both of you, and we know the board will continue forward. We're going to be convening at the California School Board Association Conference up in San Francisco, and the district will move forward, and we'll bond with our newest board member who will be joining us. And next week is Thanksgiving, and it's finally happened, and I've talked to lots of parents tonight, and they're very excited about the fact we have the whole week off. So you don't have to be conflicted about, do you take the kids out or not take the kids out, and what about ADA, and what do I do? So I just want to wish everybody a very happy and a special Thanksgiving. Travel carefully. This will allow, hopefully, make less traffic on Wednesday when it all happens. So, and we'll see you at our organizational meeting December 11th.
Mrs. Gattulli.
Okay. Further down the line, the more repetitive you get to be. Like Karen said, I was at the AXA and OSHA dinner about esports, which is really interesting because it's actually a career path, which I still can't say that with a straight face, that starting out by playing Mario Kart, you're going to be making $100,000 a year by the time you're 22. I don't know. But it was very interesting, and you know what? Our culture's changing, and our lives are changing, and what people find as entertainment is changing, and we need to change with it. So get on the bandwagon, Gattulli. Also, I was at the Teacher of the Year. That is always just a joyful experience. And I went to the Los Al and the Seal Beach Chamber breakfasts this month, which was really good. I've been going to a lot of girls' volleyball games because there have been a lot of girls' volleyball games, which I was really happy and excited to attend. They got to the quarterfinals for the entire Southern half of California, which means if they had won that match, then they go to the semifinals, and then they would play someone from Northern California. So we're talking on such an elite level of volleyball. It was incredible. They had a great season. I wish the girls the best, and it's a young team. So I'm expecting great things next year too. And our football team did really well also, and they ended up losing in quarterfinals, but it was a good season for them, and I want to congratulate them also. I want to talk a little bit about my ROP board. ROP is a consortium of 5 school districts. We have 7 members on the board. At this particular election came up. Out of the 7 members on the board, 4 were up for re-election, and 2 were not running for re-election. I was the only board member who wasn't up for re-election or who had not quit my board position. Needless to say, the poor superintendent of ROP was a little anxious. New blood is good; it invigorates you, and all good things can come from that. But you don't want 6 new members of anything. So the good news is the fact that the 4 people were re-elected, but we will have 2 new members starting next year from other districts. Also, I had my first county committee on redistricting meeting, and we didn't have much business, and that's why everybody who is on that committee likes it when we have no business. The dance show it's so phenomenal. If you like dance, and if you watch the dance shows on TV, just go up and see our productions. They're incredible. I was also able to attend both Weaver's and McCullough's Veterans Day celebration. They were handled differently, but was done very respectfully with children, kids' involvement, student involvement, and I thought both of them were really good. And it was, middle school should be different from elementary, and it was a real pleasure for me to see how they handled it. I just want to make another comment on when Dr. Kropp was talking about the things that we have in our schools that a lot of schools don't have, was the fact that we had AEDs, the artificial electric defibrillators, on our campuses, and I get lots of legislation information, so I don't have the specific date. I think it's January, but I could be wrong. They're going to start mandating it, that whenever there is an athletic occurrence in a high school, there has to be one nearby. And so once again, we're ahead of the curve, not surprising. I really also want to thank our community. The votes haven't been certified yet, so we can't quite do our happy dance for Major G, but we're kind of doing it. And we couldn't be doing the happy dance and the planning and the things that we've done on our agenda today without the support of our entire community. And I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It will be a wonderful thing. Every child in our district will go to that high school, and every child will benefit. And we have made that commitment that we are not going to go out for another bond. We are going to take care of our facilities. They will have to be upgraded continuously. Technology is a hole in the ocean you pour water in. We know that, so we're budgeting for it. But even though they're not quite certified, and I hope I'm not spitting into the wind, but I just really wanted to thank everyone. And I also want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. I have lots to be thankful for, and I'm assuming everyone here does too.
Thank you, Mrs. Gattuli. That was wonderful. I had the opportunity to attend the Los Alamitos City Beautification ceremony, and we have a really great partnership with our city, and they've done a beautiful job on Los Alamitos Boulevard, really making it much more inviting and really trying to be very business friendly and making it a place where they want to bring business. And I know that our high school, although it may bring traffic, it also brings a lot of business in that area as well. So that was very nice. I also had the opportunity to attend a local restaurant music place called the Gas Lamp down in Long Beach, and Mr. Padilla, who is just an incredible instrumental teacher at the high school. He does orchestra and our jazz bands. One of the things that I would say, like even in the beautification, our Oak orchestra. Choir was there. Our McCullough choir was there. We had an orchestra there from, I think, the middle school. We had just a variety. We had a girls group from the high school choir. They are teachers look, and our directors look for opportunities for our students to perform. And that is so important. It's great that they learn music and it's great that they practice, but being able to be out and perform is really what it's all about. And so Mr. Padilla has done this year in and year out. It's been at Spaghettini before, but this time it was actually at the Gas Lamp. 250 people were there. It was sold out. It was absolutely and utterly magnificent. And I just had an amazing evening listening to his jazz groups. And, you know, one of a couple of the musicians would pass by my table and I'd stop them and say thank you. And the way that they light up when you recognize what they've done is just amazing. And I know that that's really what our job is. And so I also, this evening, before I was on the way over here, there was an event at the high school to hand out Taste for Los Al checks to booster clubs. I forgot to ask what the total amount was, but I know that that fundraiser did an amazing job. And I had several booster club presidents come up to me and say, look at what we've earned. And so that really helps their programs and move their programs farther. And Our Los Al, which is the organization that runs that, and Larry and Nancy Strother, I just want to thank them tremendously for continuing to do that event, only ever making it better, and also for their friendship.
Is it the largest fundraiser too?
It is the largest fundraiser in our district. And not only that, it's one that people wait for. They look forward to. They're asking, when is it? When am I going to get the tickets? And so it's just amazing. And I'll try to provide some numbers on what that looks like as well.
When is it next year?
It's the 12th. October 12th.
Oh, okay.
October 12th. Put it on your calendar. So,
That's Columbus Day.
along the lines of Measure G, being that I ran and chaired the Measure K bond, I know what a tremendous amount of work it was. I saw Dr. Nguyen. I saw all of the Mr. Leibel and Mr. David Locke out and what they were doing, as well as just a myriad of people. I could just keep naming them all. I was at 6 o'clock in the morning at the Goal Run with Jody Robanis, and she scared the heck out of me because she had her costume on. And so, but the passion and what those people did to move this forward, and not self-serving. A lot of their children are way past going to ever get the opportunity to reap the benefits. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you from understanding that it is a community, that these are community assets, and taking the time that it takes to do that, as well as going out and fighting the good fight some of the times. And so I just am very, very appreciative of that. Dr. Kropp, your words this evening and reminders of all the things that have been done, not only in the last year, but through this district and in your tenure, they happen with our leadership, but they happen because you come to us and you have just an insatiable attitude about what you want that's best for our students and our district. And we couldn't appreciate that more. And you say it's an honor to work for us. It's an honor to have us work for you. And then I also just want to say that it has been, we'll see what comes, but it has been an absolute honor to serve on this board for 8 years and to see the growth that we've had in not only our students, but in every capacity. And I just am very appreciative. And so with that, if there's no further business, I will call the meeting to an end.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.